Hey everybody, Red October. Today is Monday. I'm going to do a mish of video topics because it's been a while since I put anything out and got a few minutes before I go into work. Number one, just been laying low. Like many other channels out there, I've noticed that a lot of the regulars are not putting out as many videos because they probably have all the stuff going on. So same thing here. The job status is the same. I'm kind of just getting over that hump of just I don't care anymore. It is what it is, and there's pros and cons to my job. I'm still doing the projects, not as much as I was before, just because I've been busy with family stuff. For some reason, it seems like my time is very limited now. Before, it seemed like I had a lot of time, maybe because I wasn't stressed out so much, but you know, it is what it is. You just go through the motions. As far as the government shutdown goes, I don't think that's going to happen. I think, I know there's been talk about that, but you know, these guys go through that show year in and year out. I mean, when they meet up for these debates or these things, these guys argue and fight. They put on a pony show and they just, nothing ever happens. Everybody gets in a frenzy. Oh, the government's going to shut down. What about the benefit check? They're not going to shut that down. The only way the government shuts down is that if we are in a SHTF type of event or some type of World War III, because then the attention or the focus of all the monies get shifted over to war. But unless something like that major happens, there's not going to be a shutdown. They talk about that all the time. It's just a pony show. Next thing is, I saw a video this morning from Seller559. Great guy. You know, he's that kind of friend you want to have in your life that you can go to and just talk to or just ask questions, because he's been around the block. You know, he's one of those uncles that he just knows. You know, and I'll follow up on that in just a second. But his video that he had. He talked about, everybody knows Seller 559. If you don't, you're just missing out. But he was talking about doing kind of giving out some advice to a fellow YouTuber friend of his that just got into that just acquire some land and some, I guess, livestock. And he was saying, don't give it all you got. Be selfish with your time and manage how much time you actually spend on those farms, because those the farm life will tear you up. It'll really put a wear on your body, and that is so true. Not that I grew up on a farm, not that I work on a farm. The idea of owning a farm or living on a farm for self-reliance, I think that the concept, I'd like to do that. I know that there's a lot of work from what I understand. But my grandfather grew up on a farm in West Texas. And when I say West Texas, I don't mean the city West Texas. I mean West Texas. You're looking at a map, West Texas, Lubbock area, that surrounding area, that farm, oil land, cotton fields out there. But he grew up on a farm, on a cotton farm. And he said he'd wake up early in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. He was tired as hell. Of course, he was a kid. His daddy said, "Come on, get up. You don't get to work." And he said by 5 o'clock they were already out there doing stuff on the farm. But he said, "Boy, it's hard life." He'd tell me all the time. And that's exactly why a lot of people, that I think kids that grow up on farms, the concept of growing up on a farm as a kid, I think it's okay. I think if you want to stay maintaining that lifestyle as an adult working, not so fun. And I think a lot of people that grow up on a farm come to realize at a certain age, hey, I don't want to stay on a farm, I don't want to work this hard, and they go and move into the big city for an easier life or more air-conditioned life and more fortune type of life. I think it's not until they spend some years in the city, the big city, 7-10 years or so, maybe longer, that they realize how simple their life is on the farm. So it's a trade-off, and I think that's why I enjoy going out to my grandfather's old ranch farm That's not a farm anymore. It's just land, because it's just so peaceful out there. And I have a lot of memories growing up when we used to go out there when it was a farm and he had livestock and it was cotton fields. That it just seemed like a simpler time, a simpler lifestyle. Of course, there's a lot of work. The trade-in is a lot of work, and then the payoff is it's just peaceful. It's quiet. But yeah, my grandfather told me lots of stories about that. Okay, moving on to the next subject. Okay, sorry, I had to take a sip of some coffee. But next subject is the Gotham Shield exercise going on this week. I think that's the new Jade Helm 13 that everybody's talking about. It's going to happen up in the Manhattan area, upper East Coast. A couple different places, entities are getting involved in that. I think even Canada. Anyway, that's going on. I think it's interesting how last week when there was talk about that, we had power outages across on the West Coast and East Coast. It just so happens that they lost power. Now, was it from our government testing to see how people react on a short-term basis? I don't think that's a good way to measure that, because unless the power goes out for days, like in the event of Katrina or an SHT type of event, EMP, where it was like days and people realized the lights are not coming back on for a while. And I say a while, 5-7 days is when people really start panicking and realize, I can't get money out of the ATM. I have no electricity. I can't use my phone. The internet's down, no TV. That's when people start panicking. So we'll see what happens with that whole Gotham Shield thing this week and the testing. But I do find the timing of it is very interesting, that it happened to take place on I think it was Friday, the announcement of this whole drill. Let's see, the last subject I want to talk about is, I just remembered, North Korea. This whole thing with North Korea and China and Russia, then you got Syria over here on the sideline. It's just a mess. It's going back to the government shutdown. It's this side versus that side. Show me your guns, I'll show you our missiles. Okay, you got missiles, we got some too, but we're not going to show them all to you. It's a pony show. It is serious, but will something happen? More than likely, I'm willing to say 75% no, it's not. I don't think North Korea wants to lose. Kim Jong-un, whatever his name is, he doesn't look like a person that wants to lose his power. He doesn't want to lose what he has. And I think going to war, he's smart enough to know, hey, if I go full-blown into war with these guys, with the United States, I'm going to lose. So he's waiting for us to attack him so that he could then maybe call on his allies. Maybe Russia will come to their defense, or China, to say, hey, they attacked us first. Can you help us? So it's kind of that stand down, where it's like, okay, who's going to make the first move? Because if we make it, we're the bad guys. If North Korea makes it, they're the bad guys. And so everyone's just on tension, like, okay, go ahead and swing first. Because once you swing, you're the bad guy. You attack me first. And that's that game that I don't necessarily like to play. And I understand, and you can't be in the game if you don't play the game. I just prefer not to. That's me personally. But anyway, that's pretty much what's going on, guys. I'm going to go ahead and cut this video, getting on 10 minutes here. I hope everybody's doing good. We live in crazy times, and it gets to the point for me where it becomes too much to worry about this and that. And in the back of my mind, I do think about it. I don't worry about it, but I do think about problems in the world and my job. And you get to the point, it's like, I don't care. It is what it is. I'm going to do my part, and you let the chips fall where they may. All right, guys, have a good week. Red out.